Hi, welcome back to the workshop for episode 2 of the Shed of Dreams Firebird build. We completed a set of templates last time, and this time we're going to break down the timber for the centre block and get that ready for laminating. Okay, so we made our templates last time. I still need to finish this one off properly, but it's good enough for what we need it for initially, which is getting the timber prepared so that we can glue it all together and make the neck blank or the centre blank for this neck through guitar. Now, those of you who watched last time will have heard me say that I'm going to take 2 of these big bits of timber and rip them down to make the mahogany sections of the body, and then we're going to put some veneer in between them. And the idea is, once we get our central section of the guitar laminated together, I was then going to put a scarf joint onto it to introduce the angle for the headstock. Now, the problem I've got with that is this is going to be multi-laminate neck. There's going to be 9 components at least, and technically there's going to be a lot more than that because 4 of those components are going to be made out of 3 leaves of veneer each. So that's going to be a 17 laminate glue up. Now, the issue with the scarf joint is I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get them all to line up nicely. And I just feel that doing the scarf joint on its own, I could probably do. Doing the multi-laminate neck on its own, I can probably do. But I think doing both of them together is pushing the boundaries a little bit. Especially I haven't done any of that kind of thing before. So I think discretion is going to be the better part of valour on this one. So I've decided on a slightly different route. What made me think that way was actually when I got this template cut out. Now, before I was thinking that this was going to be the thickness of material that I was going to work with. And we can get the body and the neck into that, but we just need to introduce some material down there for the headstock. However, if I do something slightly different and I go that way, I can actually fit it all on. Additional to that is I'm actually going to change the headstock angle slightly. Now, this is set at a 14-degree angle. I'm not a big fan of that. I don't think it's really necessary. So I'm actually going to bring that back to 10 or 12 degrees. That's a much more realistic way of doing things for me. Now, the obvious thing is, if I use the material in this orientation, I don't have enough to get the width that I need. So to get around that, I've had a little bit of a scratch around in the shed, and I've come up with another couple of pieces of mahogany. First one is this piece, which is about 25mm thick. And next I have an old piece of mahogany skirting board that I've salvaged from somewhere. Now, I think if I resaw this bit, I can get the 2 6mm lengths that I need out of that. And then this bit I can cut down to size, cut down to width, and I can plane it down to make the 9mm thick central block. So with that done, and the walnut veneers cut to a suitable size, we will actually have enough material to make this work. It's going to simplify the build quite a lot, and I think with the change of the headstock angle, the fact that we're not putting any access to the truss rod in there, and the multi-laminate nature of this blank, we're going to have more than enough strength in there. So to get the ball rolling, I'm going to start breaking some of this material down to suitable sizes, and then we can start to look to get it all prepared for that lamination process. Okay, with that done, the next bit is to resaw the second bit of mahogany. I already know that this is right at the limits of what my little bandsaw is capable of doing, but I've got no other alternative, so I just need to stick with it. It's going to take a little bit of time, but I'm sure we'll get there in the end. And as I feared, that took a very long time indeed. The bandsaw really struggled with that. And in fact, the drive belt came off about 10 times whilst making that cut. So all in all, it took about 25 minutes to do. But we got there, and I've got a couple of pieces of wood that we can now run through the thicknesser and get them dimensioned up as we need them. Okay, so I'm kind of set up now for the thicknessing. I've had to just flip the bench around just like the old days to make this possible. I've fastened the piece of wood down in the traditional manner, masking tape and super glue, to a nice thick piece of chipboard, just to give it a little bit more rigidity as it goes through the planer. And I'm just going to plane this bit down now to 9mm. There's a lot to take off, but it's going to be quicker to do it this way than to try and saw it. Once I got the two 6mm and one 9mm strips of mahogany planed up, I then set about breaking down the two big pieces of mahogany which will form the outside parts of the centre block. Okay, so that's all the mahogany cut down, and as you can see there's a bit of a difference in colour with some of those slices, and I actually think that's a good thing. I think that'll add a little bit of interest. So next up, we can put this to one side and we can break out that big roll of veneer, break that down and start cutting the slices that will go in between all this lot. And there we have the 12 pieces of veneer cut to size. So with that done, that's pretty much all of the preparation of the timber completed. So next up is to formulate a plan of how I'm going to actually glue all of this together to make one decent centre block. But I'm going to have to go away and think about that for a little while, so I'll leave it till next time. I hope this has been useful and enjoyable. If so, don't forget to leave me a like, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.